What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Dappz Live. And it's Thursday Night Football. We're all very excited. We're very excited for Thursday Night Football, Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. We wish we had Friday Night Football. We got a little to start the season. Listen, I don't know if this is the best matchup. I don't know if this is the matchup we want to see on Thursday Night Football. All right? Not the one I wanted to see. It's an AFC East matchup that doesn't involve my Jets. Even if it involved my Jets, it would have been a massacre the way it was on Sunday when Justin Fields looked like a different person. We have the Bills and the Dolphins to remind you that football is bad on Thursday nights. The Bills and Dolphins face off in what tonight is most likely going to be a bloodbath. The Bills are minus 12.5 point favorites. The line is 49.5. Is this the game that gets Mike McDaniel's fired? I think it is, Dill. What do you think?
Possibly. I mean, this is going to be, like you said, a bloodbath, and the post-game press conference will be filled with riddles that make no sense. I kind of just want this man to be left alone for a while. Everybody on this organization is just, it's sad when they talk, including Tua, who all-time quote from him.
Yeah, let's go to this video to see the quote from Tua this week, which was absolutely ridiculous.
He's top tier. If it's not with his arm, it's with his legs. That dude can do literally anything he wants. So definitely different skill set for me. I can't do half of what he does when it comes to running the ball and any of that. And then with how he can just chuck a ball down the field, with how far and the arm strength that he has, he's supreme when it comes to that. He's top tier.
Dill, I mean, the glaze of Josh Allen was ridiculous last year when, by the way, I don't care if it's controversial, Lamar Jackson should have won MVP last year, should have won his third. But they love to glaze Allen in this league. They love to talk about how good he is, even though he can't beat big bro Patrick Mahomes. By the way, neither can Lamar.
Don't eat.
What? He's big bro. That's what he is. Should we get into some comments real quick, Dill? I mean, we have Trill Colsing, let's go Buffalo. Listen, I'm not a Bills fan. I'm not a Josh Allen glazer. He's going to wipe the floor with the Dolphins. This is the same spread as the Ravens against the Browns last week. Remember, they won by 30 points. I don't know what the final score was. Maybe we'll throw it up. I think the Bills are going to win by 3 touchdowns minimum. If somehow there was a backdoor cover, it would be because the Bills are up 3 touchdowns and Tua, by some miracle, is hurling up lefty touchdowns to Tyreek at the end of the game to cover. What do you think, Dill?
This is going. Yeah, I'm with you. They're going to win by 3 touchdowns, but it's going to be a high-scoring game. So if the line is that high, I'm a little worried about the spread being that big. I don't know. I don't want to touch this game. Thursday night games are gross and confusing. We've got some comments. Avani, should I start Marvin Harrison, Ricky Pearsall, or Jennings? That's a gross predicament. We'll get to Kyler in a second. I don't trust Kyler. It depends on how big you need to go. If you need a lot, you go MHJ. If you need steady, you probably go Pearsall.
Pearsall hasn't done anything this year. I don't know how you can start Pearsall.
Incorrect. Pearsall's not done nothing, but he's not done a lot. He's a steady. It's a steady play, but he does have Mac Jones.
I don't know if he is steady. Has he scored this year? I have not seen a Pearsall touchdown from my lens. I have seen a Marvin Harrison Jr. I also have seen a huge Marvin Harrison Jr. 90-yard touchdown miss by the elf himself, the elf on a shelf. Kyler Murray not doing it good. Master Chang says Tua can't throw 60+. Guys, does anybody know? Because I can't figure this out. Does anybody know what happened to Tua's arm? Because when Tyreek got to town, it was like a Tyreek Tua highlight. It looked like Tua was closing his eyes and throwing it up, and Tyreek was catching bombs. And Tyreek's frustrated. I know Tyreek's also been injured, but it's like a wrist injury. It's not his legs, which are the way that he gets down the field. So what happened to this noodle arm?
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly what happened. When you spear DBs with your head, your brain to arm connection gets severed and you don't throw as well. So I think that's what's been going on with Tua. But with that being said, it's 2 weeks into the season. I think the Dolphins, they could either be a dumpster fire or a slight dumpster fire, but that doesn't mean that there won't be air yards.
And let's quickly talk about some people who are lined up tonight in fantasy lineups.
Yes.
Devon Achane, who's been an absolute beast, absolute monster. I think he dropped 22 points last week, and we talked about this on the show this week. Devon Achane stepped out of bounds, all right? He stepped out of bounds on a 40-yard touchdown run, which was kind of the pivotal moment in the game where the Dolphins really would have took some momentum back. Achane is an absolute stud. He's a guy, floor of 10 points, ceiling of 30. Watch Achane have some 30-point games this season.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, same thing. Look, there he goes, holding his wrist again. What is wrong with this wrist? Anyway,
he's faking it. He's trying to get to the Ravens. It's not even hurt. He's just
He's
trying to get to the
milking it.
Ravens.
I mean, by the way, if Tyreek was not in the AFC East, this is a guy who should be playing with Josh Allen. James Cook. I mean, this guy is such a beast. Everybody, he scored 18 touchdowns last year. He can't do it again. Guess what? James Cook is on pace for 30 touchdowns this year. All right? So James Cook is an absolute beast. The Bills are going to drop 30 points a game. James Cook is good, baby. This is a guy who could be a top 5 running back. Dill, argue with me.
Not going to argue with that take. We've got Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, CMC. I don't see anybody. Maybe Achane gets into that 5th spot. It's definitely between James Cook and Devon Achane. I think these are the two kind of back-end tier 1 running backs in this game. So it should be a fun watch, but it is Thursday night, so it's not going to be a fun watch. Some comments. Derek, 10-10, Juwan or Pitts.
Never start Pitts. Juwan all day. Most targeted tight end in football right now is Juwan. Kyle Pitts has never done anything in this league. He's never been a top 10 tight end. He's been a top tight end by fantasy experts on the ADP since he's been in the league. I mean, come on. When are we going to stop making these apologies or whatever you want to call? What is it called, Dill, when Kyle Pitts ends up in the top 10 every single year and he's not a top 10 tight end?
Oh, it's just cope. It's equity cope. People have it's the sunk cost fallacy, right? You've spent years and years and years just hyping up Kyle Pitts. You can't get a new taxi cab. You got to just keep waiting for this one to hit. We've got some good point from Wyvern, left off Gibbs in the top 5. Gibbs belongs in the top 5. I'm sure you're a Lions homer, but you're right.
Gibbs is 100% in the top 5, guys. And Gibbs hasn't even had that explosive game yet because David Montgomery steals. He's literally stealing from Jahmyr Gibbs.
He's a thief.
If Montgomery isn't on the Lions, by the way, Gibbs is a 40-point player every other week. That's not even a joke or hyperbole.
Brandon with a great question. Tet or Wilson?
I think we're talking about Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Listen, Tyrod Taylor is not the worst backup quarterback to have. Tet is going up against the Falcons, who are the 3rd best defensive rank in when we're talking about wide receivers. And going up. So that's going to be a really tight matchup for Tet to try to score against the Falcons. I don't love the matchup. Who are the Jets playing this week? Listen, I think this is a clear cut. If Fields is playing, you're starting Wilson, no doubt.
Ooh.
Jets versus the Buccaneers.
That sucks for you.
Listen, man, this is I'm going Wilson. I'm still going Wilson only because the Falcons have been lights out, and I don't really believe in Bryce Young against the Falcons.
I'm going to go Tet, so you're welcome for that concrete advice. Let's get to the next story.
I'm going to answer Vince real quick, too. Breece Hall or Javonte Williams in PPR. Javonte Williams, you cannot bench this guy until he proves otherwise.
No, you can't bench him, but I like Breece Hall more. You know who I don't like? Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray is a little elf. All right. On to the next segment about Kyler Murray is an idiot. Kyler Murray has issued an apology for wearing a Michael Vick jersey in a photo with his pit bull that he posted. Does this get more dumb? There's just no thought process here. Maybe I shouldn't take a picture with my pit bull wearing the jersey of someone who went to prison for dogfighting.
This is where the conspiracy theorists start getting activated because somebody does something so obviously stupid. You go, how could you have not recognized that this was going to be bad? But I think Kyler Murray is that stupid. He's one of the most overrated talents of the last decade. He's never won a playoff. He always disappoints people.
Hold on, let's just stop there for a second. Kyler Murray with all his hype and praise, has never won a playoff game. This guy got drafted in 2019. What year is it, Dill?
2020. I'm not sure, but it's been a long time.
I mean, we're talking about year 6, year 7 for Kyler. Not one playoff win. That is super underachieving, especially this guy got DeAndre Hopkins in his prime. And by the way, they did a ton of incredible work together, but not enough. Really not enough. And I mean, listen, his form in the league is directly correlated to Call of Duty releases. Is that true, Dill?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if a new Call of Duty drops in the middle of the season, the Arizona Cardinals are patently fucked. He's going to be up late, playing Warzone, playing zombies. The guy's not a football guy. He's just not a football guy. And Trey McBride is a rare exception, but I would say in fantasy, I'm just very leery of any receivers attached to the arm and little tiny legs of Kyler Murray.
Continuing the theme of very dumb t-shirts, let's move along to Dylan's favorite franchise in the league, the dominant 0-2 dynasty-leading Kansas City Chiefs. Free 4 t-shirts are a bad idea. Numerous Chiefs players were spotted on game day wearing free 4 shirts, implying that Rashee Rice is serving an unfair penance. Reminder, Rashee Rice street raced his Lamborghini into 4 people who were traveling the roads as normal citizens. And now they're writing free Rashee like he was incorrectly or wrongfully imprisoned.
Like he's Nelson Mandela.
Yeah, he had a political view, and it was just
Right.
he was silenced
Right.
because his speech was threatened. How did this happen, Dill? How did we get here?
I'm not sure, but also just to go down the litany of the injuries from this accident, we have trauma to brains, facial lacerations requiring stitches, multiple contusions. We've got disfigurement and internal bleeding. So listen, we also buried the lead. He fled the scene. Okay, so he's served his time, 30 days in jail. He had probation. He had a $115,000 fine. He's getting sued. So I understand he's 25 years old. Has he not been punished enough from Travis Kelce's point of view? With that being said, when you do this, you endanger the lives of lots of people. Cut back to the tragic story of the Raiders receiver that killed a guy. Henry Ruggs. I think that people with kids, this is a little bit more triggering because when you have kids in the backseat and you see people driving like crazy, it's very, very frustrating. He's a young man. I get it. But no, we do not need to free Rashee Rice. What we do need to do is survive until he gets back week 6 so we can win some fantasy championships.
This all goes back to fantasy general management. And by the way, if you don't watch the general managers on YouTube, that's where Dylan and I every week break down your entire fantasy lineup and who you should start or sit. But we will jump into some more comments, by the way. We have Wasted saying Zay Flowers or Marvin Harrison at flex. Guys, it's crazy for me to say this, but Zay Flowers has top 5, top 6 fantasy points right now. He's on, if not the best offense besides the Bills. These guys are going to score points every week. Listen, Lamar's moving the ball around a lot. He's hitting D-Hop. Derrick Henry didn't score last week. Unfortunately, with both the Bills and the Ravens, it's going to be a week-by-week spreading the ball around. But listen, Zay Flowers is Lamar Jackson's favorite target. It's not even close. He's going to get his. I love Zay Flowers, and I hate Marvin Harrison, but I'm biased from last year. Derek asks, Keenan Allen or Wilson? And by the way, before I get to Derek, comment who you want to start or sit. Please send your comments into the chat. We're answering them all episode. All right, let's go back to Derek. Keenan Allen or Wilson in the flex, half PPR, by the way. Keenan Allen looking like a must-start. You have to start Keenan Allen over Garrett Wilson right now because he has a backup quarterback. That's a no-brainer. Justin Herbert, most chemistry on the team. By the way, I saw a questionable tag today on Ladd McConkey. So I don't know what's going on. They're saying it's a bicep. How do you hurt your bicep as a receiver? I have no idea. That's typically like an offensive lineman or defensive lineman injury. Not looking good for Ladd McConkey drafters because you have Keenan Allen and Quentin Johnson in town. This is going to be a little rough. Breece Hall or Javonte, we answered that one already. Nick Chubb or quit. Dude, if you have Nick Chubb, he better be on your bench and nowhere near starting him. Guys, I pray that Joe Mixon comes back to town. I don't know what his injury status is. They're being very secretive in Houston about this. They're not letting anybody know what's going on. Very unfortunate. Fannin or Kincaid? Dude, Fannin is getting targets.
Fannin.
What did I say?
Well, the answer is Fannin.
Oh,
I understand.
I thought you meant Fannin as I said his name.
Yeah,
wrong.
no,
the answer is Fannin.
there's a trap where you got nothing to do on Thursday night and you don't want to watch the game, so you go, I'll roll out Kincaid just so I got something to care about. But just be disciplined, play the right people, even if you have to wait a couple of days to see them.
Bryce threw a trade offer in here, and I think this is a no-brainer. He got offered Jacoby Myers and James Conner for Alvin Kamara. That 2-for-1 sounds great. If it's a 10-team league, maybe it's a little questionable, but I think James Conner, if he's healthy, is scoring close to as many points as Kamara. It really depends on who your wide receiver set is and who your flex is. Why don't you tell us, Bryce, who you're starting at wide receiver 3 and flex, and we'll get back to you.
I'm a Kamara homer. James Conner is going to get injured. Jacoby Myers is like a meh, depending on your receivers. I would keep Kamara. He's the only thing that works outside of Juwan Johnson in this offense, and he's just always there. He's the slipperiest, flyest running back in the NFL.
And guys, Pam Bam Sports shared their live. Thank you so much, Pam Bam. Everybody go follow Pam Bam Sports if you want the best takes that you've seen this season.
Pam Bam has the best takes.
Pam Bam just has the best takes, all right? Let's go. Hey, hello, Pam Bam. All right, guys. Pam Bam, also tell us who you're starting and sitting in fantasy this week. Okay, Bucs are going to win the Super Bowl. Yo, Baker looks good. He looks gritty. He's getting hurt, and then he's getting up like, come on. Come on, Gardner. Hit me, bro. Hit me. This is a crazy story, Dill, and this is something that we decided we had to cover on this show. Maybe not the biggest story in town. Right guard Cody Mauch, I don't know how to say it.
Let's say Mauch, yeah.
Mauch suffered a season-ending injury on Monday against the Texans. This dude played the whole game. He got injured in what, the first or second quarter?
If you have a season-ending knee injury, that means that you tore a ligament in your knee.
Season-ending knee injury means you tore a ligament in your knee. Follow that? Okay, go on.
And then you played the entire game on it.
And this is just the grit of Tampa Bay. By the way, some of the players on this team have been there before. Obviously, you had Brady in town instead of Baker. But listen, Baker Mayfield drafted first overall by the Browns. Since then, they've let him go, and they don't know what they're doing at quarterback. What a freaking joke of a franchise that is. Baker was a guy as a Jet. We had the 6th pick that year. I wanted Baker. I thought he was going to fall to us. And then out of nowhere, he became the first-round pick in the 2 weeks before the draft. Now he's in Tampa Bay. They're 2-0. They're in one of the worst divisions in the league outside of the AFC South.
It's 6-0 just chalked onto the record because they're in the South. So everybody was hyped on the Falcons and the Panthers this year. No, the Bucs will run over those teams.
If you want to understand the ethos of this team, please listen to Baker here.
You took a pretty hard hit, and I mean, it looked like you could have been seriously hurt, and you sprang right back up and just started jawing with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Just what's the mentality like in those moments for you?
We don't take any shit. That's about it.
This guy.
This guy just had all the answers. I mean, listen, any ladies watching this show, if you can wipe up Baker Mayfield, you better do it right now. This guy is just made of steel. The whole team, I think it just kind of permeates through the whole team, right? This energy of we're playing for each other. They have Mike Evans, who, by the way, has like 0 fantasy points this year, has been targeted 15 or 16 times, so he's going to get his. Egbuka looks like the lead offensive rookie of the year favorite, I think, at this moment. It's only week 2.
Yeah, him or Ashton Genty, we'll see.
Yeah, Ashton Genty is having a tough time in Las Vegas, okay? Listen, Bryce says, we're going to go back to Bryce real quick. His receivers are Keon Coleman, Egbuka, and BTJ. I love Egbuka. BTJ really due for a big game. He has really underperformed so far. And now he's been offered Jacoby Myers.
No.
You don't like it?
No. Keep Kamara.
You don't think you should start Myers over Keon Coleman?
You should, but it's not worth giving up Kamara for James Conner, who's not an efficient running back, and he's going to get hurt. So will Kamara.
Do
Kamara
you
will
feel
get
like
hurt later
your
in the year.
hatred for the little elf Kyler may be clouding your judgment at all, Dill?
Maybe.
Okay. Yo, Tate, says Gibbs and Ertz for Derrick Henry and what? Gibbs, who are you getting, Yo Tate? Oh, Bomeo! Bomeo's in the chat, my man Bo. Bo, we're going to have to get you on as a special guest one of these days. We want to hear your takes, fantasy, gambling, everything else.
He's getting Gibbs and Ertz for Derrick Henry and Kamara.
He's giving Gibbs and Ertz for Derrick Henry and Kamara.
Yeah.
So this in a dynasty league, he's saying that because Henry and Kamara are kind of on their way out. You might get 1, 2, 3 years out of them. Gibbs is going to be good for the next 10.
No, you want to keep Gibbs.
I think you're going to keep Gibbs. The question is, can the Bucs make a run? I think they can. I don't think the NFC is strong enough. I'm not impressed with the Super Bowl champion Eagles. They're just not impressive. They're not dominating games, right? And you even called them, I think, like the most boring Super Bowl champion. Can I quote you? Or?
No. You can't quote me because that's Ethan, who absolutely loathes Jalen Hurts from the bottom of his heart. The Eagles are not a fun team to watch. I do think they're the hardest team in the NFL to beat. That doesn't mean that they're exciting, but I think that, everybody's really hyped on the Packers. I can see an NFC championship with the Bucs very, very, very easily. They're going to get Chris Godwin back. Bucky Irving is that dude. They've got the Rashad White combo to keep both of them healthy. I love this team.
And it looks like you and Pam Bam are going to get along because she says, I'm saying the Packers in the Super Bowl. And I shouldn't say I'm sick of this Packers narrative because they have been super impressive. I was a hater earlier in the year. They got Micah. I didn't think their defense was going to be that elite. It looks very elite. And you know what? What I will say is I saw a Jordan Love stat last night on ESPN. Jordan Love, in his last 9 games, has thrown 0 interceptions and 13 touchdowns. And I saw that, and I'm like, wow. Jordan Love really might be that dude. I'd love to see 20 touchdowns as opposed to 13 in 9 games because we're talking about an average of a little over 1 per game. You'd like to see your quarterback throwing for 2 touchdowns a game as an elite QB. But we're going to move right along to our next segment. Keenan Allen's bones are weird.
And Levi, we'll get to your question right here. Just keep the comments rolling, and we'll get to them.
Okay, what is going on with that thing on Keenan Allen's right shoulder? This story went viral when fans saw that Keenan Allen's bones are weird. They're weird. Evidently, his shoulder joints are just like that. I don't know. Keenan Allen has been an A-B tier receiver in this league for 13 years. How are his shoulders not like that?
So I want to play a little fantasy game with you here, and you let me know who you would like to have over Keenan Allen, or would you take Keenan Allen instead of them? So first up, Courtland Sutton or Keenan Allen?
I'm going Keenan Allen.
It's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah,
Keenan
Keenan Allen.
I love Keenan Allen right now. Okay, Terry McLaurin or Keenan Allen?
Are we factoring in injuries and like current state of the NFL? Because if we are, I'm going Keenan Allen because like Jaden McDaniels might not play this week.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels is hurt, but no, we're not talking about this week. Let's say broadly, would you rather have Keenan Allen rest of season or Terry McLaurin?
I got to go Scary Terry.
Okay, Calvin Ridley or Keenan Allen?
Keenan Allen.
Okay.
Calvin Ridley was supposed to be this sleeper pick by all the fantasy experts who we all hate here. Calvin Ridley is not a sleeper at the moment. He's a 9th, 10th, 11th round pick who went 5th round.
Yeah, he's the wide receiver 1 on that team, but he's the wide receiver 1 on a team that has an
can't protect their
the offensive line hates Cam Ward.
Yeah, they literally hate him. They're like, can we set the record for most sacks against our quarterback?
Last either or Lad McConkey or Keenan Allen.
I mean, you have to go Lad McConkey, but if he's hurt right now, like that's also a no-brainer. If he's going to be dealing with a bicep injury for the next 6 weeks, Keenan Allen, like I said, more chemistry with Herbert by 6, 7, 8 years. Well, maybe not that many because Herbert's only been in the league since 2020. But we're talking about significantly more reps with Keenan Allen than Lad McConkey from Herbert to Keenan. If he's not healthy, that's it. It's Keenan Allen. ETS, DJ, Tyreek, or Jameson. Definitely not DJ. He's absolutely stunk this year. Jameson, I believe they're playing indoors this week. Listen, here's the thing about Tyreek tonight. The Bills will dominate this game. The Dolphins will be playing from behind, and they will need to throw the ball in any scenario. I'm probably starting Tyreek only because of that.
I like Tyreek too. Jameson's great, but he's very boom bust. His floor is 2 points, and his ceiling is 30.
Yeah, correct. Moving right along, Wom, you know what? We'll take one more comment. Thoughts on Herbert, Chase Brown, Ricky, and Shakir for oh my God, this is a massive trade. Josh Allen, Ladd, and Mike Evans. You would get Herbert back, Chase Brown, Ricky Pearsall, and Shakir. Absolutely not. You got to keep Josh Allen and Ladd.
Yes, these 3-piece trades in week 3 of the season. Like I get it if you're 0-2, you're in a bit of a panic, but just stay the course.
It's a big no.
Stay the course.
Listen. Josh Allen is a guy who's going to single-handedly win you weeks because he's going to drop 30 to 40 points. He scored 11 points last week. Thank God I had Malik Neighbors on my team. But Josh Allen is going to score 30 points tonight. Adam Silver is a snake. Snaky. Oh, my God. I hate that guy on the left. Pablo, what's his name?
You're talking about Pablo Torres.
I don't like that guy. He's a snake, too. But Pablo Torres dropped a Kawhi Leonard story a few weeks back, and it's sending ripples through the NBA. Adam Silver tried to get ahead of this, claim he had no idea about this fake philanthropy company, Aspiration, but the internet is undefeated. Guys, watch this video.
When the podcast came out, it was news to me. I'd frankly never heard of the company Aspiration before, and I'd never heard a whiff of anything around an endorsement deal with Kawhi or anything around engagement with the Los Angeles Clippers. So it was all new to me. If I said I never heard of it, I meant in the context of the accusations here. I mean, I certainly was aware of the brand, but I didn't know anything about it. When the
Slippery snake. Adam Silver says one thing, then he says another. Nothing makes sense. It's been uncovered that there was no way he did not know about this, and Adam Silver changed his tune.
So if you think about the commissioner of the NBA, Steve Ballmer, powerhouse, front office, Kawhi Leonard, one of the most popular brands in the game, going to one of the biggest markets in the game, there's no way that Adam Silver didn't know that they were trying to pull some stuff to get this guy into this market.
Listen, here's the thing. Adam Silver's lying. Steve Ballmer's lying. If Kawhi spoke words, he would be lying, but he doesn't say anything.
No, he does not.
This is why this pisses me off. Pablo Torres, great job being a journalist. All right, great job. The thing about this is, who really cares? All right, find Kawhi, get some money back, and put this to bed. This story is lingering for 2, 3, 4 weeks. Football's on. No one cares. Literally nobody cares. Everybody already feels this way about Kawhi. It's like, oh, now he's stealing money.
So are you a everybody should take steroids kind of guy?
Everybody should take. This is how I feel about steroids.
Well, I'm asking because are you okay with people just cheat? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Is that what you're saying right now? Because this is seedy stuff.
Okay, we're gonna bring up steroids real quick.
Okay.
We have steroids in the Lance Armstrong cycling. Tour de France back in late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
At the same time as the Mitchell report came out a couple years later about steroids in baseball. Guess what? If you don't police steroids and then write a report 10 years later that 30, 40, 50% of both of these leagues were taking steroids, I don't care. You can't erase that time. You didn't police it. Right? That's on the MLB, and that's on the Tour de France or whoever was the commission regulating that league. What I heard about the Tour de France was Lance Armstrong was all juiced up, and so were like 6 of the top 10 race finishers.
Everyone.
Okay? So God bless you if you were one of the 4 guys who didn't take it, but guess what? Everybody remembers Lance Armstrong as the greatest cycler of all time.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that he took steroids. You didn't strip him of his titles. He won all the titles. He got all the endorsement deals. He got all the stature. All right. Reggie Bush, not steroids related. But guess what? He had
boosters.
He had boosters, right? Which is like commonplace now. And they stripped him of his Heisman. And now they're paying subpar shitty quarterbacks $4 million a year.
The portal, the portal.
Dude, just say it was our bad. We had a screwed up rule. Here's your Heisman, Reggie. We love you at USC. We love you in the NFL. You should be all over TV.
Let's get to a couple more comments before we wrap up today. Troy Franklin or Ladd McConkey and flex.
You gotta play Ladd. Well, listen, if Ladd might not play this week, you gotta check out his injury designation. But if Ladd's healthy, you cannot not start a second round pick. Mayfield or Goff. Little bit tough. I got to see. Baker's playing the Jets, guys. I mean, come on now. Who's Goff playing this week? Can I see that real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we're going to double check on who Jared Goff is playing. It is the Ravens. That's going to be a really, really high-scoring game, guys. I like all Lions this week. Lamar's going to move the ball all over the Lions defense. Jared Goff is going to be put in a position where he has to score points. I think that Gibbs and Montgomery might suffer a little bit because I think they'll be playing from behind. They're going to have to air the ball out, but they both are ball catching back. So we'll see what happens. What up, Steve88? Bryce is back to the Kamara trade. I think I have Gibbs, Hall. Jesus Christ. Okay, Neil Johnson says Nico or Mason. What do you like, Dill?
Nico or Mason? Come on. What are we doing?
Come on, man. It's Nico
Guys,
Collins.
just, again, don't panic. It's only week 2. We're going into week 3. We'll learn a lot after week 4. You can still get into the playoffs with an 0-4 record. Do not panic. Don't do fire sales. Don't do stupid trades.
Okay, Wes, guys, get your questions in now because we're going to wrap the show in less than 5. So if you have any questions, please ask them right now. Wes says, do I start DJ Moore and Pickens over London and Egbuka? Absolutely not.
What?
You are starting Drake London and Egbuka every
Yes.
single week. Guys, again, there's a lot of first, second round picks right now who are underperforming, but they are first, second round picks for the whole year, not this small sample size. Listen, Mike Evans, there's a lot of guys who haven't gotten in the end zone yet. That's okay. There's plenty of guys who start slow and then they just pop off. Do not sell your first and second round picks this early. You want to bench them 1 week and wait till they pop, but I guarantee you I've done that before. And what happens the 1 week I bench the guy? 30 points. All right? Moving right along to McQueen. I traded Achane for London and Olave. What you guys think? Listen, I love Achane. I would not have traded him, but Drake London is a guy who can score 25 points.
And Olave is one of the most targeted wide receivers in the league right now.
Dylan nailed it. Olave has not gotten in the end zone, but top 10 in targets, so he is due. Olave's points are going to shift very soon. If you can get Olave for cheap anywhere, grab him. Should I start Kyler or Bo Nix?
You got Kyler playing the 49ers, I believe. You got Bo playing the Chargers.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think the Denver Chargers game is going to be one of those divisional grit matchups. I don't think that's going to be a high-scoring game. I did like what I saw from Bo Nix last week. I'm going to go Kyler on that one. Thank you for the help. K9 or Warren, it's tough. It's not tough, Dalton. You're playing K9.
You're playing K9.
Myers or Dobbs. Myers has been legit this year. I am fascinated and interested in Dobbs because of the Jaden Reed injury, but I think Jordan Love's favorite target is definitely Tucker Kraft. And behind that, he really spreads the ball around. I don't know what to make of the Green Bay Packers wide receiving core at the moment. Brian Thomas or Troy Franklin, not a question. You have to start BTJ. BTJ is about to explode.
This is one of
Just
these.
wait.
This is one of these panic sits that you do where you see Troy have a great week. BTJ's had 2 bad weeks, so you play Troy. He gets 2 points. Brian Thomas reminds everybody that he is him. Gets 17 points. Do not do that.
Yeah, so we got the Wilson McMillan question again. What I'm going to say is the Falcons have one of the most elite D-backs in the league. McMillan's going to have a tough time. Bryce Young is not going to be able to move the ball. I think that Tyrod Taylor, fine backup. He's playing the Bucs. The Jets will be down. They're going to have to pass the ball the whole game. I think that Garrett Wilson is due for some garbage points. I'm going to go with Wilson on that one. Ridley or Keenan Allen? Keenan Allen all day. Not even a question. Wilson, Kamara, K. Allen, or Pickens in the flex. Kamara in the flex. Keenan Allen second. Traded Kyron for London. Thoughts? I don't hate it either way. I think Kyron and Drake are kind of interchangeable in terms of how many points they're going to score, but Kyron is definitely due for a very, very big game. Dak or Love, I'm not sure. Listen, guys, like I said, Jordan Love, very impressive. I don't want to call him a game manager. I think that's kind of disrespectful, but in the last 13 games, he's thrown zero interceptions, incredible. Or excuse me, in the last 9 games, 0 interceptions, only 13 touchdowns. I don't love that. I'm going Dak. I think his potential is way higher. Should we be worried about Hampton and Harvey? You should be shitting the bed right now about Hampton and Harvey. This is not good. These are horrible ADPs by the fantasy experts. Omarion Hampton is an 8th round pick who went in the 2nd round.
Okay.
Because some idiot. Wait, hold on a second. Let's just talk through this.
All right.
Omarion Hampton is a fringe flex still. That's what he is. He's a fringe flex.
He's a first-round draft pick. Not in fantasy, but in the league.
What does that mean for fantasy? That doesn't mean anything. Omarion Hampton, by the way, who fumbled the ball, and then they reversed it and gave the fumble to Herbert. I don't know
It was
if you saw
Herbert's.
this.
It was Herbert's.
Herbert got the fumble. Hampton has done nothing. He doesn't look good. Harvey also has J.K. Dobbins in town. You guys better hope that J.K. Dobbins gets hurt. And I don't mean that I want J.K. Dobbins to get hurt, but that's the only scenario where your team looks good.
J.K. Dobbins will regress. I'm much less concerned about R.J. Harvey than I am Hampton. You never trust a Harbaugh. You never trust a Harbaugh in fantasy. Hampton is a little bit scary just because Herbert's spreading the ball around so much.
I think Egbuka is going to play this week, but you know what? I really think Mike Evans is due for a touchdown, and Egbuka also scored 1 touchdown last week and only scored 10 points, which is kind of concerning. Start Debo without JD or start Coleman Ridley or Quentin Johnston. I am starting Quentin Johnston or Keon Coleman all day over those guys. No chance I'm starting Debo if Jaden doesn't play. Marcus Mariota's the backup, not the worst, but I am not putting any faith into Marcus Mariota. Pick 2, Evans and Tyreek. Oh, Evans, Pickens, and Tyreek. I'm going Evans and I'm going Tyreek this week. Am I winning my league if I have Derrick Henry, Casting Stones, James Cook, and Neighbors? You're 100% winning your league. I love that for you. I don't know how you got Neighbors and Derrick Henry. That's incredible. Trade Bucky and Mason for Achane, Hampton, and Dobbins. Do not trade for Hampton. He stinks. Trade ETN for Evans. No, keep ETN. By the way, little Bayshell Toot. I just saw he has an injury designation. They've already moved Tanks Bigsby out of town. So ETN is prime for even more work. Breece Hall or Javonte Williams has been a question of the day. You cannot bench Javonte until, guys, everybody go DM us your picks and we will answer them. Go DM us your picks. If we don't answer you right now, please DM us your picks. Kane, we have James Conner, Ladd, or McMillan. Pick one. PPR. You have got to start James Conner. Adam Riccio. Are you in fantasy? I feel like you're not. But if you are, start or sit. I know you're making a decision this week. Let's go. Jeff, trade ETN for Evans. I already said you got to keep ETN. ETN is going to drop 15 a week. And by the way, I was not an ETN guy preseason. I have been flipped.
Can I really quickly say, I think the NFL has adopted the split. I'm less concerned about running back by committee moving forward now. I think the Detroit Lions showed that you can be extremely efficient with 2 running backs. We've got this all over the league. ETN and Tootin can both be serviceable running backs in the same backfield. Don't trade ETN for Mike Evans. That's crazy.
I just told you, though, Tootin's hurt. We don't know how serious it is, but if he's even, mildly hurt and can't play, ETN, and they just traded their number 2, Tank Bigsby. So Tyler says choose 2, Tet, Hollywood, Amika, and Mason. I'm sorry, when we're saying Mason, who are we talking about?
Jordan Mason. Guys, Jordan Mason has to be in your starting lineup in every single league. Jordan Mason is a gift from God that Aaron Jones got hurt. Jordan Mason could be a top 12 running back right now, and I don't mean that exaggerating, just because he's going to get double the touches. So the Vikings are a good team. I don't know what's going on. They have a good backup in Carson Wentz, a guy who can definitely get a win while JJ's hurt. I don't even know if JJ is good. Jordan Mason can be a league winner this year.
So when you said pick 2, I'm going Amika and Mason all day, bench Hollywood and Tet. Tet's got the worst D-backs you could possibly face. Last question we're going to answer is Nick Knott, A.J. Brown for Ted. Thoughts?
Tet, I'm assuming, yeah.
Dude, A.J. Brown's a tough one right now. I didn't like him. He was on none of my draft boards. I don't draft A.J. Brown because I think he's another boomer bust guy, and he goes too early for me to be a boomer bust guy. Listen, A.J. Brown's going to get his. He's going to have monster weeks where he has 2 touchdowns and 150 yards, but I don't know. Ted seems like he's the clear-cut usage guy in Carolina. I'd probably keep Ted.
It sounds crazy, but I think we would both rather have Ted right now.
Okay, guys, if you're not following Dappz Sports, that's what you're watching right now. This is Dappz Live on Dappz Sports. Please check out all of our videos. We did a recap, a skit of the Brandon Aubrey kick last week, of the Travis Kelce drop. I think you'd really, really enjoy it. You're going to get a laugh out of that. We'll have another video for you tonight after the Bills-Dolphins game concludes. Please watch General Managers. That's the show with Dylan and I. Again, I'm your host, Dappz. General Managers is all about fantasy. We do an episode every single week. We do giveaways in the show. We are giving away free sports cards. Please, all you have to do is subscribe to Dappz Sports, like the video, and comment underneath. We also have the cookbook for all of our gamblers who want to know what should they be gambling on tonight. Is it the Bills minus 12.5? I'll tell you. I'll give you a little hint. It is. Okay, the Dolphins stink. They're going to lose by 3
Pick an
touchdowns.
alt line. Bills minus 18.5.
I love it. Alt 18.5. What is that, like plus 600? I'm in. Next thing up is going to be, remember, follow Dappz Sports on YouTube. Subscribe. You are watching Dappz Live every single day, 12 p.m. We'll be back tomorrow.